Hello my dear friends, welcome to Live Prep. Myself Dr. Gajapati Verma. As I informed you earlier, under the name of Bootcamp, we are providing both revision lectures and also we are conducting test series. But these revision lectures are available both on Live Prep app and also on YouTube, and this test series can be given only through the app. Now in this lecture we are going with the revision of frog, and here also please remember very carefully. So we are studying only the brief account. That's why the information related to various systems like digestive system, circulatory system, respiratory system, all these things we are studying in short and in simple, and we are restricting ourselves only to NCERT content. We are not going beyond NCERT. Clear? And one more suggestion is, please try to watch this video after completion of human physiology, because at many locations we are comparing these points with human physiology. Clear? So in this way, sometimes some differences you may notice, but for majority of the content, so you may find some similarities. Clear? So that's why. So please try to watch it after completion of the human physiology, so you can easily correlate with human physiology also. Now let us quickly start with this. And here under the classification, first we are talking about this, and it belongs to this. We are talking about the frog, and here we are talking about the Rana tigrina. So with respect to that we are talking. So it belongs to the phylum Chordata, class Amphibia. So in between content is not much important. Directly we are going with the genus, that is Rana, and the species is Rana tigrina. So this is what the common one that we are studying here. And here they have given NCERT content. Quickly I will read the content also, and wherever the explanation is needed, there I will give you the explanation. Frogs can live both on land and also in the fresh water. So they are amphibians, right? So generally, so they are living in both of these. So they are living on land and also in the fresh water. And it belongs to the class Amphibia of phylum Chordata. Just now we have completed that point. Next one. The most common species of the frog that is found in India is Rana tigrina. That's why we are generally talking about Rana tigrina here. Next one. They do not have constant body temperature. So this point is very important. So in the in the case of animal kingdom, generally we are talking about homeothermic animals and poikilothermic animals. So these are poikilothermic, that's why they are cold-blooded animals. So homeothermic are warm-blooded animals. So what are the homeothermic? So aves means birds and mammals. So these two are homeothermic animals. They can maintain their body temperature, but remaining animals, they cannot maintain body temperature. So here we are talking about the class Amphibia. So this is from the amphibian, right? So they cannot maintain the body temperature. So if the outside surrounding temperature is changed, accordingly their body temperature will also be changed. So that's why these are examples for cold-blooded or poikilotherms. This is what the content is. So that's why homeothermic organisms, they are able to maintain the body temperature. Even though surrounding temperature is changed, they are maintaining constant body temperature. But poikilothermic organisms are not like that. If the surrounding temperature is changed, accordingly their body temperature is also changed. So this is one representation. So this is also important for examination. So try to remember this. Next one, they are talking about the camouflage and all. What is this camouflage? So generally these frogs, they are able to change their body color according to the surrounding conditions. So this type of adjustment of their body color to the surrounding is simply called as the mimicry. You can use the term called mimicry, and this is technically called as a camouflage. Okay, so in this way they are mimicking with the surrounding conditions. This is what they are saying here. So next one they are talking is, this point is little bit important, and this point is connected with the poikilothermic nature. So in the poikilothermic nature, what generally we are saying, when the surrounding temperature is changed, the body temperature of the frog is also getting changed. So now here we are talking about two extreme conditions. So outside temperature is too high during the summer, and outside temperature is too less during the winter. So now what these frogs are doing is, they are trying to avoid these extreme conditions, because see, already in the biomolecules we studied a simple logic. So for the body, inside the body there are some enzymes. For their activity, optimum temperature is required, right? But when the surrounding temperature is changed, their body temperature is also changed. That means that their body temperature is getting increased. That is becoming too high in the summer and it is becoming too low in the winter. So when this much of variation is there, now the body activities will be affected. So at these conditions, like in the summer and in the winter, these organisms are trying to escape from these particular temperatures. That's why generally they are going deep inside the soil. So they are burrowing and they are going deep inside the soil, and there they are staying, and they are undergoing some sleeps. What are these sleeps are called as? One is called as summer sleep. This is also called as estivation, and the other one is called as winter sleep. This is also called as hibernation. And why it is undergoing estivation and hibernation? It is to avoid the extreme temperatures. Clear? So this is what the logical information related to this particular content. Next, under the morphology we are talking about. So how it is appearing here. This is what they are giving. So when we are touching this particular frog, so it is generally appearing as slippery. It is moist and also slippery. Slippery because it is producing the mucus here. And why it should be mucus? Why the mucus should be produced? So because of this mucus production, it is in the moist condition. And what is the advantage of this? So the logic we need to understand is actually exchange of gases is taking place at the skin also. If exchange of gases is taking place at the skin, in that case the skin should be moist, because these gases will dissolve in that water. Whatever the moist means what? Some water content will be there. In that water these gases will dissolve, then diffusion will occur. So for this process, always the frog has to maintain its skin in moist condition. So this is one important point that we need to understand. That's why it is having the slippery nature. This is what one important point is. Next one, regarding the color, they are saying that generally on the dorsal side it is having the olive green with some dark irregular spots, and on the ventral side generally it is having the pale yellow color. So this is what some information they are talking with respect to Rana tigrina. And different frogs, they are having slightly some small variations with respect to colors. Next one, the frog never drinks the water. This is very important. It is never drinking the water. Then how it is getting the water? It is simply absorbing the water through the skin. Okay, technically if you're, this is important anyhow given in NCERT, but here I have given another important information. So actually the frog is having some drinking patches, and where these patches are present? They are present just below the belly, and also they are present on the thighs. And what these drinking patches will do? They will simply absorb the water. So in this way, frog is not drinking the water, but it is absorbing the water. So in this way, this is getting the water from the surrounding water sources. This is what the important information is. So even when it is present in the water, then also it is able to absorb the water through these drinking patches. Clear? So this is one important point. Next one. Body of the frog is divisible into head and trunk. This is the head part, and remaining all is called as trunk part. And in this case, we are not using the term called as neck. And here the adult frog we are talking. So adult frog is not having the tail. Please remember, adult is not having the tail. So in this way, neck and tail are absent. So it is having only head and trunk portions. That's it. Anyhow, this is the NCERT diagram. So observe carefully. Next one. Above the mouth, here there are nostrils. So with the help of the nostrils, so now it is taking the air. So this is what. Next one, eyes are bulged. So if you are observing this, so now these eyes are little bit like a protruded like. So that's why they are using a term called as a bulged, and they are covered with a nictitating membrane here. So this nictitating membrane that is protecting these eyes when the animal is present within the water. So this is what? Nictitating membrane. So please remember this. And regarding the human, if you are talking, human is having nostrils. Yes, we are having the nostrils. We have the eyes, but they are not protruded like this, but we are having the eyes. But what about the nictitating membrane? Very important. Please remember this. Frog is having nictitating membrane, but do we have nictitating membrane? No. It is actually reduced. It is reduced and it is present on this side. But anyhow, this will come under the vestigial organ, but we don't have, technically we don't have the nictitating membrane. So please remember this. Clear? Next one. On either side of the eyes, a membranous tympanum that actually represents the ear that is receiving the sound signals. See, observe carefully. In the case of human, we have the external ear. This is the external ear part. But in this case, external ear part is not present. Directly it is starting with the tympanic membrane. And we are also having the tympanic membrane. But outside the tympanic membrane, we are having the external ear part. But in the case of frog, external ear is not present. Tympanic membrane is present and the internal ear part is present. These are present. So in the case of frog, this tympanic membrane itself will represent the ear. Please remember. And here this ear is useful for two things. Ear is having two things, and one is for, anyhow it is for hearing, yes or no, for hearing of the sound and all. And not only this, it is also useful for balancing of the body, and these 2 points are as it is applicable even for human also. In the case of human also, ear is having two functions. It is useful for sound recognition, that is one thing, and second one is it is useful for body balance. And anyhow in this new syllabus they have deleted this, but it is very very important, so please remember. This is what. Next one they are saying that, so forelimbs and hind limbs are present, and these limbs are useful for swimming, walking, leaping and burrowing. For many of these things these limbs are useful. Okay, and here we are classifying them into forelimbs and hind limbs. One pair of forelimbs and one pair of hind limbs are present. Next one, the hind limbs. Now here how many digits are present in this? In the case of hind limb, total 5 digits are present, but in the case of forelimb, in each forelimb 4 digits are present. Each forelimb is having 4 digits and each hind limb is having 5 digits, and that too for the hind limbs, between these two, between these particular digits you can see some webbed nature. So because of the webbed nature it can easily swim. So in this way, this webbing of these toes we are observing only in the hind limbs, we are not observing for the forelimbs. This is also another important point that you need to observe from this particular information. Clear? Next one, frogs exhibit sexual dimorphism. What is the meaning of sexual dimorphism? Male and female individuals are different. So different, male is different, female is different. And here some important differences they are talking between male and female individuals. What are some important points? First one, in the case of male frogs, so they are having the vocal sacs. Male frogs only having the vocal sacs, only these are able to make the sounds. Please observe this. So sometimes you may be observing that these frogs are making some noise, right? And please remember, those frogs which are making noise are male frogs, and they are having this vocal sacs. Please remember this. That means males have vocal sacs but females do not have vocal sacs. This is one important point. And second most important point is presence of nuptial pad on this first digit of the forelip. On the first digit of the forelimb there is a small pad. This is called as a nuptial pad, also called as a copulatory pad. It is called as copulatory pad or nuptial pad. And why it is called as copulatory pad or nuptial pad? Because so during the sexual intercourse, so this copulatory pad will help in holding the female individual. It is present only on the male, so that this male is able to hold the female during the sexual intercourse or during the copulation. Understood or not? So please remember, we studied two things here: presence of vocal sac. Second one is regarding the presence of copulatory pad or nuptial pad, and we are studying both of these in the male individual only. These are not present in the female individual. So please remember these two important differences. So with this, the morphology part is completed. Now we are going with the anatomy and physiology. Here we are mainly studying about the different systems here: digestive system, circulatory system, respiratory system, nervous system, excretory system, reproductive system. Likewise, many things we are studying. And please remember, for majority of this content, if you are comparing with human, you will find similarities. For majority of the information we are finding similarities. At some small locations, at small informations only we are finding differences. So those things also I will tell you what are similar, what are different. So in comparison with human physiology, if we study, you can easily, very easily remember this information regarding the frog. Clear? And first we are talking about the digestive system. Like the human, here also we are studying the entire digestive system with the accessory glands. But the most important point we need to remember is, in the case of frog, salivary glands are not present. This is one important difference. At least focus on the difference. Remaining points are similar only. But the problem is, in the case of human physiology, digestive system, the digestion and absorption chapter they have deleted. But anyhow, in the regular class, not in the revision, in the regular classes, I made 2 lectures, and in that 2 lectures, I have covered a majority of the important information regarding that. So if you are interested, so in that regular lectures, so you can go through those. But here the important point you need to notice is salivary glands are absent. Then who will produce saliva? Salivary glands are absent, okay, but who is producing saliva? Tongue itself is producing the saliva. This is one important point you need to remember. But remaining information, that liver is present, pancreas is present, gallbladder are present, and they are releasing secretions into the digestive system, and remaining informations are exactly same. But one more difference that you are observing is the cloaca. It is the cloaca that you are observing here. Please remember here. In the case of human, cloaca is not present. But here cloaca we are observing. And regarding cloaca, I will tell you one important point. First listen that, because many times we will study about the cloaca. So cloaca is actually a common passage for three important things. Cloaca is the common outgoing passage for three important things. What are these three? First one is, it is the passage for digestive system. Second point, it is the passage for excretory system, and also it is the passage for reproductive system. So all the three systems are connected with the cloaca, and this cloaca is opening out through cloacal aperture. So this cloaca will open outside through cloacal aperture. So please remember this, for all these three systems combined, it is the common one. And this one is opening outside through a small opening that is called as cloacal aperture. So this is one small difference. In the case of human, very clearly I am telling you, so please remember, with respect to examination we are observing. So digestive system has its own opening, that is the anus, and urinary system, please remember, urinary system and reproductive system, these two things. Urinary system and reproductive system up to the cloaca, if you are observing, in the case of human male and female I am talking separately. Human male, what happens? Urethra is the common passage. Please observe, urethra is the common passage for both both urinary and reproductive systems in the case of human, and both of them are opening out through an aperture, yes or no? So that urethra is opening out through urethral aperture, yes or no? So this is what we studied for human. But in the case of frog, what we are studying? So that from the testes sperm cells will come, and from the kidneys urine will come, and both of them are opening into the common ureter. Please remember, ureter is common. That's why that is called as urinogenital tract. So that ureter is urinogenital, for urine and also for the sperm cells. For both of them it is common, and that is opening into cloaca. Understood or not? But in the case of female frog, that ureters, they are individual, and the oviducts, they are having separate opening. These two are not combined. And that content you can compare with the human. But in the case of human, what happens? Human female, that urethra is having separate opening, and that vagina, that is having a separate opening, yes or no? So these two are vaginal opening, and the urethral opening are two separate openings. So in this way, some information you can link up with the human, and so that you can easily remember in the case of frog, yes or no? In this way, some informations can be interlinked. So with interlinking only you have to remember, then only your concept will be clear, then only you can remember it for longer duration. Clear? So in this way, anyhow, first we are talking about the digestive system, and finally it is opening into the cloaca. But what are the opening into the cloaca? Digestive system is opening into cloaca, and reproductive system is also opening into cloaca, and this excretory system is also opening into cloaca. And now this cloaca is opening outside through cloacal aperture. So this is some basic information that we need to understand before starting this particular physiology. And now we are talking about the digestive system, and here, like human, here also in the digestive system many of these things are there. Anyhow, I have given the separate flow chart. This digestive system is having the alimentary canal, and also it is having the digestive glands. But please remember, salivary glands are absent here, and the tongue is producing the saliva. This is one important difference that you need to notice here. And now here what happens? Initially food is taken into the mouth, and from the mouth it is going into the buccal cavity. From there it is going into the pharynx. From there it is going into the esophagus. From there it is going into the stomach. From there it is going into the intestine, small intestine, large intestine, and finally it is opening into the rectum. Yes or no? And now this rectum will open into cloaca. Now please understand this. Up to this rectum, from mouth to the rectum, whatever the names we studied, the same is the case for human also. But in the case of human, this rectum will open outside through anus. But in this case, this rectum is opening into cloaca, and the cloaca will open outside through cloacal aperture. This is the small difference that you need to notice. And this is what the important information that you need to understand. Same points they have given, but here they have given another important point. Since frog is a carnivore, the length of alimentary canal is not as much long as human. So that's why here it is very short. So please observe this. In the case of carnivores, the alimentary canal is shorter when compared with the herbivores. So please understand this. Next one. This is what the frog anatomy. So these are the different systems that they have given in a single diagram. Clear? And now we are going with the next one. So digestive system, alimentary canal part is completed. Next one, here is the liver. So here is the liver is present, and now this liver is producing the bile. In the case of human also we are studying the same point. And next one, the bile produced by the liver is temporarily stored for some time in gallbladder. Same information we studied for human also. In the case of human also, bile is produced by the liver and it is stored in the gallbladder. Same points here also applicable. Clear? Next point. Next one, here this is the gallbladder and that is temporarily storing the bile for some time. Next one, from the pancreas, pancreatic juice will be released and this will be released into the duodenum, and the same information is applicable for human also. Exactly same information for human. And this pancreatic juice will contain different types of enzymes and many other components. Exactly same information for human also. Clear? This is what the diagram that they have given in the NCRT. So at least go through each and every part and the labeling and everything. Okay. So one by one we will study, because here we are not talking about the kidney and fat bodies, because under the digestive system we don't need to talk about this. Whatever is related to digestive system, only that much you just observe here. Okay. So esophagus, this is the stomach, intestine, and finally it is the rectum that is opening into the cloaca. And this is the kidneys. From the kidneys ureters are coming, and then now here there is a urinary bladder and all these are opening into the cloaca. And here itself testis will be present. Testis also will open into this ureter and that is also coming into the cloaca. So in this way, when we are studying that specific system, so then we will focus on it, and remaining time, so we don't need to worry about the remaining thing. So here these are the lungs, and here is the gallbladder, and this is the liver, and here is the heart. So labeling they have given, observe very carefully. Clear? And next one, food is captured by bilobed tongue. It is also called as a bifid tongue. See, at the tip of this one, it is actually divided into two, and this is called as a bilobed or bifid tongue. And this is a protrusible tongue. Please observe carefully. It is a protrusible, so it can throw its tongue away so that it can catch the prey, and again it will take it back. It will retract it back. So in this way, it is able to collect the prey. This is one important point. Next one. So in the stomach, the digestion. For the stomach, what are the important things? HCl will be produced in the stomach, and some gastric juices containing some enzymes are also produced here. In this way, the digestion of food is taking place within the stomach. Next one. And this partially digested food is called as chyme. Please remember chyme. This term is also we are using for human. So partially digested food that is present within the stomach, it is the acidic one. It is called as chyme. And from this, now it is going into the intestine. In that intestine, what is the first part? It is the duodenum. So it is going into the first part, that is called as duodenum. So in this way it is going. And now in this duodenum, so what are collected into this duodenum? Particular one. Observe very carefully. The acidic chyme from the stomach is coming into the duodenum. Correct. Next one. This is the part from the liver, and this is the gallbladder. This is the cystic duct. So from this, bile is coming, and this is the pancreas. From the pancreas, pancreatic duct will come. So bile duct, pancreatic duct. Now all of them, now they are combinedly opening into, this is the common bile duct that is opening into the duodenum. So in this way, now what this common bile duct is doing? It is bringing bile from the liver and gallbladder, and also it is bringing pancreatic juice from the pancreas. Now all of them, they are coming into this duodenum. Now please observe carefully, what is the function of the bile here? Anyhow, in the sentence also they have given, directly I am telling here itself. What is the function of the bile? Bile is useful for emulsification of the fats, so that the large fats are broken into small droplets. So what is the advantage in making small droplets? Surface area is increased. Now what is the further advantage? Now later on, lipases will come and act on it. Please remember, bile does not contain any enzymes. Bile is simply breaking the large fats into small fat globules or fat droplets, and this process is called as emulsification. That's it. In this way, in the next steps, so lipases can easily act on this, so that the lipid breakdown can easily occur. So that is what the advantage related to the bile. And next one, pancreatic juice. Pancreatic juice is having different enzymes, mainly with respect to protein digesting enzymes. So now these protein digesting enzymes, they will be activated here, and now they will start digestion of proteins. So this is the information related to this pancreatic juice and bile juice. So this is what they have given here. Understood or not? Next one, once the digestion is completed in that intestine. So once the digestion is complete, now what happens? Now it will be absorbed into the blood. So now here you need to observe one more thing. So the alimentary canal wall is having some finger-like projections. The finger-like projections of alimentary canal wall. Please remember, alimentary canal wall finger-like projections are called as villi. And on this villi again, columnar epithelial cells are present in general. And for these columnar epithelial cells, on the free surface again they are having plasma membrane is having folding structures. Plasma membrane is having folding structures. They are called as microvilli. So these microvilli and villi will increase the surface area so that maximum absorption of these food materials is occurring into the blood. Understood or not? And not only this, here there are some lacteals are present. Lacteals are part of the lymphoid system, so that the fats are absorbed into the lymphoid system, and from this lymphoid system again they will be connected with the blood circulatory system. And this information very clearly I told you when we studied about body fluids and circulation information. Clear? So at that time also I told you in the regular lecture, just 2 videos related to digestion and absorption. So there also I told you. So that's what I am saying, that please watch this video regarding frog after completion of human physiology, so that you can very easily remember this one, because these basic contents I have already covered in that way in those particular chapters. So it will be easy for you. This is what they are saying here. So villi are the finger-like projections of alimentary canal wall, and microvilli are finger-like projections of plasma membrane of these columnar epithelial cells. And because of this, what happens? Surface area is increased. So now maximum absorption of these nutrients will take place. This is what the overall conclusion of this particular lines. Next one, the undigested. After absorption of all these things, whatever is the waste that is remaining, undigested food or unabsorbed food is there. Now it will be the solid waste, that is finally it is called as the feces, and that will be released out, and it is released. Finally it is temporarily stored in the rectum. From there it is going into the cloaca, and then it is going out or released out through cloaca aperture. This is what they are saying here. Clear? Next one. So with that, digestive system is completed. Next one is the respiratory system of the frog. And in the case of human, what are we are talking? So lungs we are talking, and the lungs are present even here also. But please remember, under the chapter that is called as breathing and exchange of gases, there we studied about this. If lungs are involved in the respiration, it is called pulmonary respiration. Yes or no? But here in the NCERT, they have given some examples with respect to different invertebrates also. How exactly this exchange of gas is taking place. In that paragraph, very clearly they mentioned about the frog. In the case of frog, exchange of gases is taking place at the skin also. If skin is involved in the exchange of gases, that is called as cutaneous respiration. Yes or no? So that's why with respect to frog, you are using pulmonary respiration because lungs are involved. You are using the term called as cutaneous respiration because skin is involved. Not only these two, buccopharyngeal, the mouth and pharynx epithelium, there also exchange of gas is taking place. So buccopharyngeal respiration is also taking place. That's why in the case of frog, total 3 respirations we are studying. In the case of frog, pulmonary respiration because lungs are involved, cutaneous respiration because skin is involved, and buccopharyngeal respiration because the buccal means mouth and pharynx epithelium is involved in respiration, exchange of gases. These are the 3 important things you need to remember. This is what they are saying. And that too, here on the land, what are involved? In the water, what are involved? These points also we need to observe very carefully. So when it is on the land, all the 3 are useful. But when it is present inside the water means, suppose it is present below the water surface. So it is keeping its head below the water surface. Then it cannot take the air through the nose. So in those cases, the skin is the major one. So please remember, when it is in the water, skin is the major respiratory organ. But when it is present outside, but that means when it is on the land, all the 3 are functional. all the three are useful for respiration. Please remember very carefully. This is what. So lungs are involved in exchange of gases, skin is involved in exchange of gases, even buccopharyngeal epithelium is also involving in exchange of gases. This is what the simple rough diagram that they have given. So these are the lungs, this is the skin, and here buccopharyngeal epithelium is also involving in respiration. This is what they are saying. Clear? And this is what they are saying. In the water, skin acts as the aquatic respiratory organ. This is the major one. So since skin is involved, it is the cutaneous respiration. And a dissolved oxygen in the water is exchanged through the skin by diffusion. In the water also already some oxygen is dissolved, and that dissolved oxygen will be taken by this. And now there the exchange of oxygen and CO2 is taking place across skin membrane. Understood or not? This is what they are saying. Next one, on the land, buccal cavity, skin, lungs, all the three are involved. Since lungs are involved, it is called as pulmonary respiration. Very clear, simple points. You don't need to even by heart also. Understand the concept, that is enough. And here during inspiration, expiration, process is not required. During inspiration, it is taking air inside, so that now the exchange of gas will occur, and then now again it is releasing the gas. Releasing gas is called as expiration. This much of basic information is enough. Next one, where these lungs are present. In the case of human, so now these are present within the thoracic cavity, and here also, please remember, but in the case of frog, we are using head and trunk. Yes or no? Head and trunk we are saying. So in this trunk, upper part if you are considering, in the upper part of the trunk, that is called as thorax, there the lungs are present. Yes or no? So this is what they are saying. And these lungs are pink colored sac-like structures that are present in the upper part of the trunk region, that is the thorax. And air enters through the nostrils into the buccal cavity, and then it is entering into the lungs. So at the buccal cavity also exchange of gas can occur, in the lungs also exchange of gases can occur. Anyhow, skin is a separate one. It is a moist, please remember, skin should be moist. So that's why there the exchange of gases can occur. Clear. Next one. During estivation and hibernation. During estivation and hibernation. Estivation is the summer sleep. Hibernation is the winter sleep. So during these sleeps, what happens? It is trying to reduce its metabolic activities. So in those cases, skin is the major one that is involving in the respiration, because anyhow the requirement of oxygen is very less in those cases, because it is almost becoming inactive. So that's why skin is the major one that is involving in respiration during these sleeps, summer and winter sleeps. Clear? Remember this. Next one. So with that, that particular respiration part is completed. Next we are talking about the vascular system of the frog. And under this vascular system, so what are these blood and lymph vascular, right? So vessels and all we are talking here. So what type of system we are studying here? Closed type. Human has closed type of blood circulatory system, and frog is having closed type of blood circulatory system, but cockroach is having open circulatory system. So these are three important points that you need to remember. And here blood vasculatory system is also present, and the lymphatic system is also present. Human is also having blood vasculatory system and a lymphatic system. Both of them are present in human also. Okay. Now here under this we are studying that in the case of frog, since it is an amphibian, it is having 3-chambered heart. But in the case of human, we are having 4-chambered heart. Already 3-chambered heart very clearly I have explained in that body fluids and circulation chapter. So that's why here I am directly going with the points. That's it. So please observe carefully. This is the important difference. Human has 4-chambered heart, but in the case of frog, it is having only 3-chambered heart. Now, if you are comparing with the number wise, human has a 2 atria, frog is also having 2 atria. But human has 2 ventricles, but frog is having only 1 ventricle. Very important point. Already we studied all these things under body fluids and circulation, right? And next important point is, in the case of human, deoxygenated and oxygenated blood are not mixed in human. But in the case of frog, deoxygenated and oxygenated blood are mixed. So this mixed blood is supplied to the lungs and mixed blood is supplied to the body parts. But in the case of human, it is not like this. In the case of human, deoxygenated blood is supplied to the lungs and oxygenated blood is supplied to the body parts. Yes or no? This is what we studied. So these are some important points that you need to understand. So in the case of human, so when we studied about body fluids and circulation, this type of circulation is actually called as incomplete double circulation. This is what the term we used. Yes or no? In the case of fishes, it is the single circulation. Only deoxygenated blood is pumped by the heart. And in the case of amphibians and reptiles, reptiles means except crocodiles, we studied about three-chambered heart, and there mixed blood is supplied to the lungs. Yes or no? Mixed blood is supplied to the lungs and mixed blood is supplied to the body parts. And there we studied a term called as incomplete double circulation. And in the case of birds, mammals and also crocodiles, and there what we studied, four-chambered heart is present, complete double circulation is present, deoxygenated blood is supplied to the lungs, oxygenated blood is supplied to the body parts. That's what we studied. Yes or no? And at that time what we studied, for the three-chambered heart we studied incomplete double circulation. That is correct. But under this particular chapter called as frog, in the summary, instead of giving incomplete double circulation, they gave it as single circulation. So please observe this particular one carefully. Technically, which one is correct? Incomplete double circulation is correct. But in the summary, here they have mentioned about single circulation. So please make a note of it. Okay. So according to the options, now you need to decide whether it is right or wrong. Okay. And this is what the basic information that they have given. Anyhow, this is the right atrium that is collecting deoxygenated blood and it will be pumped to the ventricle. And left atrium, it is collecting oxygenated blood from the lungs and it is pumped to the ventricle. So in the ventricle, deoxygenated and oxygenated bloods are mixed and the mixed blood is supplied to both lungs and also to the body parts. And this is what about the three-chambered heart. Very clearly, already we studied under body fluids and circulation chapter. Clear. Now come to this one. The blood vascular system, it is having heart, blood vessels and the blood. Regarding the heart already we have studied. So now here they are talking that not only this blood circulatory system, here it is also having some lymphatic system. Here there are different types of sinuses are present. From these sinuses, now the lymphatic system is collecting the lymph or tissue fluid or interstitial fluid, and again this particular lymphatic system is again connected with blood circulatory system. Clear? So this is what they are saying. And as part of this lymphatic system, it is having a fluid called lymph, and lymph channels are present and even lymph nodes are also present in the case of frog. Very simple information, and this information is almost similar to human only. Okay, so please remember this. Next one, heart is a muscular structure. It is made up of the muscles and it is situated in the upper part of the body cavity. So in that thoracic region part only it is present, and it has three chambers. Out of the three, two are atria and one is the ventricle, and is covered with a membrane called as a pericardium. Already we studied all these points, right? Next one, but this point is different from the human. In the case of human, superior vena cava, inferior vena cava, directly they are collecting the deoxygenated blood into the right atrium. Yes or no? But in the case of this particular frog, when we studied about this frog information, then that day itself, means with respect to the body fluids circulation, there itself I have very clearly explained. Once again I am telling you, please observe carefully. Superior vena cava, two are there, and here this is the inferior vena cava. All these are collecting the deoxygenated blood, but these are not directly opening into right auricle or right atrium. And where they are, what they are making, these two superior vena cava and this inferior vena cava, and they are making a triangular shaped structure. They are making a triangular shaped structure. This is called as a sinus venosus. Please remember these things. Every point was mentioned here in the form of sentences. Directly I am giving explanation. So they are making a triangular shaped structure called as sinus venosus. And this sinus venosus, from superior vena cavas and then from inferior vena cava, it is collecting the deoxygenated blood. And this is from the dorsal view. So please observe carefully. And now it is releasing this particular deoxygenated blood into the right auricle or right atrium. So in this way, deoxygenated blood is going into right atrium. That's it. So once it is going into right atrium, from there it is going to right ventricle. And anyhow, left atrium is collecting this oxygenated blood. From there also, oxygenated blood is coming into this. Now it is the mixed blood. And now this mixed blood from the ventricle, single ventricle, now it should be pumped. And where it is pumping, so please observe carefully, it is pumping into this particular structure called as truncus arteriosus. Truncus arteriosus. It is going into truncus arteriosus. In this truncus arteriosus, two parts are there. The basal part is a sac-like structure. It is called as conus arteriosus. Understood or not? Entire one is called as truncus arteriosus. And in this, the basal sac-like structure is called as conus arteriosus. And after this, anyhow, this ventral trunk, aortic trunks are present, ventral aortic trunks are present, and in this way blood will be supplied. So here in the NCERT what they said, from this ventricle now this mixed blood is pumped into conus arteriosus. This is the sentence they have given, very clearly mentioned here, you can read this. Okay, so in this way the mixed blood is going into conus arteriosus, from there it is going into the aortic trunks, and from there it will be supplied to the lungs, body parts and all the things. Understood or not? In this way they have given these names. So this is one thing that is not applicable to human. So these are the differences. So this sinus venosus, which is a triangular structure, this is not present in human, and this truncus arteriosus, conus arteriosus, this part is not present in the case of human. Please observe carefully. Okay, but that iota term, yes, we are using in the case of human, but here it is slightly different. So please make the differences, try to notice the differences, they are very important here. Clear? This is the information. So with this particular content is completed. Next one. So here the blood from the heart is carried to all the part of the body. So arteries are taking the blood away from the heart, whereas the venous system, so it is having the veins and they are collecting the blood towards the heart. That's it. So this is a general information applicable to human also. Next one. Next one is regarding the portal circulation. In body fluids and circulation, there itself I have mentioned about the portal circulation. What is portal circulation? How exactly we are giving the names? And there are three types of portal circulations. One is called as hepatic portal circulation. Second one is hypophyseal portal circulation. And the third one is renal portal circulation. All the three names I have mentioned in the body fluids and circulation. Here I don't want to give that explanation once again. Directly I am going with the points. And here what type of portal circulations are present? In the NCERT they said that frog is having hepatic portal system and a renal portal system. Not only this, it is also having hypophyseal portal system. So all these three portal systems are present in the frog. But in the case of human, hepatic portal system is present, hypophyseal portal system is present. But human does not contain renal portal circulation. Clear? And first we will focus on this hepatic portal circulation. What is this hepatic portal circulation we will do? So in the hepatic portal circulation, the blood from the intestine will be carried to the liver. This is what it is doing. Next one, in the case of renal portal circulation, from the hind limbs and the tail portion, if the tail is present, but here anyhow in the adult frog tail is not there. So from the hind limbs and the back part of this particular body, the blood will be collected and it is going to the kidneys. It is going to the kidneys. So kidneys are collecting this. That's why it is the renal portal circulation. And anyhow that hypophyseal portal circulation, from the hypothalamus, the blood is going to the pituitary gland. Anyhow that is also there. So in this way all the three portal circulations are present within the frog. Please remember this. Whereas in the case of human, renal portal system is not present. This at least differences also you just focus, it will be very easy. Next one regarding the composition. Here also blood is having the plasma in the cells, and here also the cells are RBC, WBC and platelets. Same information like human. Next one. So RBC. In the case of human, mature RBCs do not contain the nucleus. That's why they are round and biconcave. Yes or no? In the case of human, they are round and biconcave. But in the case of frog, mature RBC contains nucleus. Contains nucleus means it will become round and biconvex. If nucleus is present, cell will get biconvex shape. If nucleus is not present, it will get biconcave shape. So in the case of human, the RBCs are round and biconcave, whereas in the case of frog, the RBCs are biconvex shaped, biconvex shaped. Very important. So this is important, a difference you need to notice here, because nucleus is present in the mature RBCs of frog, and here also hemoglobin is present. Here also it is helping in oxygen transport. So here also they are red in color. That's it. Basic information is common. Next one, lymph. So here also the lymph is slightly different from the blood. Yes or no? Because it is not containing all the cells, and with respect to the protein content also there is a small difference. So anyhow this content is same like human only. Next one, the blood carries. What are the functions of the blood? Whatever we studied in the human, exactly same things are applicable here. It carries the nutrients, gases and water to the respective sites during the circulation. Yes. Next one, the circulation of blood is achieved by the pumping action of the muscular heart. Same information for human also. Clear. Next one. So with this, blood circulatory system of the frog is also completed. Clear? So with respect to circulatory system, if you are observing, number of chambers that are present in the heart and also that renal portal system. So this is where actually you are observing the small difference, and anyhow that sinus venosus and conus arteriosus, these two names also very important with respect to frog, and these things we are not studying in the human. These are the small differences. And regarding that shape of the RBCs, mature RBCs, you are observing the differences, but for remaining content almost it is same like human only. Now we are talking about the excretory system of the frog. In the human we studied about the kidneys, nephrons, all the things, yes or no? Same things, majority of the content you are studying here also. So now let us quickly read this. The elimination of nitrogenous waste is carried out by well-developed excretory system. So excretory system is there for elimination of nitrogenous waste materials. Excretory system consists of pair of kidneys. We studied in human also. Ureters present in human also. Cloaca is not present in human. Please remember. Cloaca is the common passage for digestive system, excretory system and reproductive system. But in the case of human, there is no cloaca concept. So please remember this. And then there is a urinary bladder. Urinary bladder is present in human also. Okay. So this is what the general diagram is. So these are the kidneys, and from there these ureters are coming out, and now they are opening into this particular cloaca. Anyhow, we will study. So there is a small difference with respect to male frog and female frog, because in the case of male frog, testes are associated closely with the kidneys, but in the female frog individually they are present. That is the small difference. Now let us see. So these are the kidneys. So these are compact, dark red and bean-like structures that are situated a little posteriorly in the body cavity on the both the sides of the vertebral column. So almost similar information for human also. Next one. Each kidney is composed of several structural and functional units called as uriniferous tubules or nephrons. Even in the case of human also we are saying that nephrons are the structural and functional units of the kidney. So here also they are saying, and here also majority of the content is almost same, almost same. But please remember, so here Henle's loop concept you are not studying much because already it is present within the water. So Henle loop is mainly involving in conservation of the water. Already it is present within the much and much water. So here there is no problem of this conservation of the water concept. That's why here don't find this Henle loop here. Don't worry about the presence of Henle loop here. But in the case of human, yes, we are talking about the presence of Henle loop and its role and many things we are studying. But here you are not studying that much information here. Clear? Next one. This is the kidney. This is the kidney. Inside the kidney, these nephrons are present, and these nephrons are finally they are passing this particular filtrate into this particular tube, and all these things are finally collected to this ureter. So from one kidney, one ureter will come out. From the other kidney, another ureter will come out. Both the ureters will open into cloaca. This is the general information. So in this way, ureters will help in transport of the urine. Ureters are helping in transport of urine from the kidney to the cloaca. Clear? Fine. But in the case of male individual, observe carefully, here are the testes. And here there is a peritoneal membrane. So in the double fold of this peritoneal membrane, testis is present. And this testis through vasa efferentia or vas efferens, again it is connected to the ureter only. So please observe the diagram. In the case of male frog, ureters are doing two things. Ureters are collecting urine and ureters are also collecting the sperm cells. That's why in the case of male, ureters are doing two functions. One is urino, other one is genital. Urino means collecting the urine. Why it is genital? Because it is having the gametes. So that's why in the case of male frog, these ureters are also called as urinogenital tracts. Urinogenital tracts. And now they are opening into cloaca. Understood or not? So this is another important information that you need to add up here. But in the case of human also, urethra is doing, not the ureters. In the case of human, it is not the ureters, but it is the urethra that is collecting both urine and the sperm cells. Understood? So in this way, with respect to the name, small difference is there. But concept wise, if you see, somewhere there is some linking is there. So in this way, try to understand this. Next one. Two ureters. So this is one kidney, this is one kidney. From this kidney, one ureter, from this kidney, one ureter. Both the ureters are opening into cloaca. Okay. So the two ureters emerge from the kidneys in the male frog. Yes, two ureters are there. Ureters act as urinogenital duct. Urinogenital duct, because it is collecting the urine and it is helping in passage of urine and also passage of the sperm cells. That's why it is urinogenital duct, and which opens into cloaca. So it is opening into the cloaca. In which organism? In the male. In the male it is acting as urinogenital, but in the case of female it is only for the urine, not for the ovum transport. Okay, so this is what one important point that we need to very clearly notice, and many students are making mistake here. And now in the case of female, what we are saying, kidneys are there and they are collecting only urine. Kidneys are collecting, kidneys means ureter. So from the kidneys, ureters are collecting only urine. And here separately ovaries are present and separately oviduct is present. Please observe carefully. Oviducts have separate opening into cloaca. Oviducts have separate opening into cloaca. Please observe carefully. So from the ovary, ova will be released and these ova are collected by oviduct, and these oviducts are opening separately into cloaca. And from this cloaca again they are released to outside. Please remember, there is no internal fertilization here. So we are observing external fertilization in the frog. So sperm cells are released outside, means in the water, and ova are also released into the water. So fertilization will occur inside the water. That's why it is external fertilization. Observe carefully. So here what they are saying, in the case of females, the ureters and oviduct open separately into the cloaca. Here separately they are opening. But in the case of male, so that ureters are acting as urinogenital ducts. They are collecting both urine and also they are collecting the sperm cells, and it is a common opening into the cloaca. This is a small difference that you need to notice. Very, very important thing. Don't make any mistakes here. Clear? Next one. A thin walled urinary bladder is present on ventral side of the rectum and it is also opening into the cloaca. Now you just see this. Here is the in this diagram. Here also in all these diagrams they have mentioned. This is the urinary bladder. Here is the urinary bladder actually. And this urinary bladder, what it will do? Observe carefully. In the case of human, I am telling you for human. In the case of human, ureters will open directly into urinary bladder, so that urinary bladder is filled up. But here observe very carefully. Here what you are saying, ureters are opening into cloaca and urinary bladder is also opening into cloaca. Now you may get the doubt. Then how this urine from ureters will enter into urinary bladder? So urine from ureters is first coming into cloaca and from there it is collected into the urinary bladder and there it will be stored. And after that again it will be released into the cloaca and again it is going outside through cloacal aperture. So in this way there is a small difference is present here, and this difference you need to observe very clearly. Okay, so this is what about the urinary bladder. Next one, the frog excretes urea. Human is also excreting urea. So that's why frog and human, both of them are ureotelic animals. Clear? Next one, excretory waste materials are carried by blood into the kidney. It means anyhow same human also excretory waste materials are carried by the blood and ultimately they are going at the kidneys. There the filtration is taking place at the nephron. Same information, and they are separated and excreted along with the urine. Same information is for human also. So with this, excretory system is completed. Now we are talking about the control systems of the frog. In the case of human, we studied about two control systems. One is the neural system, other one is the endocrine system. And here also it is the same thing. Here also neural and endocrine systems are present. And they are controlling the activities of various other organs so that they are helping in the coordination and maintenance of the homeostasis. Same information here also. And here the chemical coordination. Chemical coordination means what are involved here? From the endocrine glands, hormones are released and they are actually doing the chemical coordination. Yes or no? And here what are the various glands? They have mentioned the names of pituitary gland, thyroid gland, parathyroid gland, thymus gland, pineal gland, pancreatic islets, adrenals, gonads, many are there. And even though hypothalamus was not given, even hypothalamus is also there. That is also secreting some hormones. All these names we already studied for human also. Almost same, I don't say 100% exactly same, almost same information is applicable here also. In this way various endocrine glands are present, they are secreting various hormones and these hormones are actually involving in controlling activities of various other organs. This is what the information is. Next one is regarding the nervous system, and here also central nervous system is there, peripheral nervous system is there. In the central nervous system, brain and spinal cord are present. In the peripheral nervous system, cranial nerves and spinal nerves are present. And in this peripheral nervous system again autonomic nervous system is there, and for convenience again we are dividing this into sympathetic, parasympathetic. All this information is applicable here also. That is applicable here also. Clear? This is what they are saying. Next one. Here also brain is present, but with respect to the names of these particular parts, you can find all these names in the human also, but all the names of human are not present here. Because please remember, in the evolutionary development, if you see, amphibians comes first and then the mammals. Yes or no? So that's why brain development wise, if you see, human brain is much developed when compared with the frog brain. So that's why human brain is highly complicated, but here it is a little bit simplest. But here whatever the names they have given here, yes, you know all these names, so you can easily remember this. But anyhow, we are not going much more deep into this particular one. Simply superficially we are studying this particular information. Next one, there are 10 pairs of cranial nerves that are arising from the brain. So in the case of frog, from this brain actually 10 pairs of cranial nerves are arising. Next one, brain is enclosed in a bony structure. What is this bony structure is called as a cranium. So this is the cranium and this is the brain that is present inside this particular cranium. Next one, brain is divided into, so in the human also we divide with the say 3 names. So here also 3 names, forebrain, midbrain, hindbrain. But what are present in forebrain, what are present in midbrain, what are present in hindbrain? So these points are also important, we will see. Forebrain includes, what are present in the forebrain? Olfactory lobe is present, and then cerebral hemispheres, that's why paired cerebral hemispheres are present, and here there is a diencephalon. Here they have mentioned unpaired diencephalon is present. So these are the ones that are present within this particular forebrain. Next one is regarding the midbrain. So here in the midbrain, so here 2 optic lobes are present. But in the case of human, we are studying about corpora quadrigemina, 4, right? Superior colliculi, inferior colliculi, likewise we are studying because human brain is much developed. But here 2 optic lobes are present. So they are present within the midbrain. And next one is regarding the hindbrain. So in the hindbrain, what are present? Cerebellum is present, medulla oblongata is present. So these two are present within this particular cerebellum. And then this medulla oblongata is continuous with spinal cord. So this is the basic information. Very simple and basic information. So please try to remember this much. That is enough. Next one, medulla oblongata is continuous with spinal cord. And this is coming out through a pore or the hole in the cranial box. And this hole is called as foramen magnum. And from this it is coming out and it is continuous with spinal cord. This is what they are saying. Is it clear? So this is what they are saying. And this spinal cord is protected by the vertebral column. Here also it is present in the vertebral column, right? That's why they are part of vertebrae, right? Vertebrates. Next one, sense organs. What are the various sense organs that are present within the frog? Simply names they have given here. So here sense organs, some sense organs that are involving in recognition of the touch. They are mainly the sensory papilla are present. And there are some things for recognition of the taste, like taste buds are present. There are some things that are present for recognition of the smell. So what is that? Nasal epithelium is there. And for the vision, okay, for the light sensitivity, so eyes are present and these are simple eyes like human. Cockroach eye is a compound eye, but frog eye is a simple eye like human eye. Okay, next one, for hearing, what are present? Tympanum is present and internal ears are present. This is what, is it clear? So in this way there are different sense organs that are present within the frog. Next one, out of these, eyes and internal ears are very well organized structures. So if you are comparing with the human here, among all these things, so eyes and internal ear are well developed, but for remaining other things, so actually it is like a cellular aggregation around these particular receptors or the nerve endings. Okay, likewise this arrangement is there because they are not yet developed, right? That's why they are present like that. Next one, eyes in the case of frog are pair of spherical structures. They are present within the orbit of the skull. So in the skull there is a small gap that is called as orbit. In those orbits these round or the spherical shaped eyes are present. Next one, what type of eyes are these? Simple or compound eyes? Simple eyes are present. So in the case of simple eye, entire eye is acting as one processing unit. So in this way they are present, and for human also we are having the simple eyes only. Next one, external ear is absent. So here they don't have this ear pinna and all. External ear is not present here, and they are having the tympanum, and that tympanum will represent the ear. Next one, the ear is an organ of hearing. It is having two functions. Ear is involving in hearing function, and also it is involving in body balancing. Body balancing means equilibrium. Please remember, ear is having two functions. One is hearing and other one is balancing. Next one. So with this controlling and coordination system is completed, and now we are going with the next one that is called as reproductive system. So here also already many times we have studied about this information. Now let us quickly go through this. These are sexual dimorphism is there, male and female individuals are different. How we will identify the male and females? Males are having vocal sacs and males have nuptial pad on the first digit of the forelimb. Yes or no? With the help of that we can easily identify that they are the males, and females do not have these two. Clear? This is what. And frogs have well organized male and female reproductive systems. This is the male reproductive system. This is the female reproductive system. Please observe carefully. In the case of male reproductive system, urine and the sperm cells. See, this is the testis. This is the Bidder's canal. So these are the vasa efferentia, and these vasa efferentia are connected with the Bidder's canal. This is what. So testis, vasa efferentia, Bidder's canal. These are the three names that are related to male reproductive system. So from this Bidder's canal, ultimately sperm cells are going into this ureter, and urine is also collected here. So from the kidney, urine is collected. So that's why in the case of male, ureters are actually urinogenital ducts. Both urine and the sperm cells are passing, and now it is having a opening into the cloaca. Yes or no? But in the case of female, two ovaries are present, and here two separate oviducts are present, and urine is collected through ureters. And here ureters are not collecting the ova. For the passage of this ova, what are present? Separately oviduct is present, and they have separate openings into the cloaca. So these are the two very important points. So these are the difference between male and female, and these things you can compare with human also, so that you can easily remember. So these are some basic points that you need to remember. Anyhow, we will see here. And here in the case of male reproductive system, what they are saying, so regarding this particular testis they are talking here. Okay, so male reproductive system consists of pair of yellowish ovoid testes are present. So here pair of testes means two testes are present. They are yellow in color, they are oval in shape. Next one, which are found adhered means attached to the upper part of the kidneys by a double fold of the peritoneum called as mesoarchium. So here they are attached on the upper side of this kidney. Now they are attached. How they are attached? So this layer is called peritoneal membrane, and it is folded with the double fold of the peritoneum. They are attached to the kidneys. So this is what they are saying. Clear? And next one. So which are found adhered to the upper part of the kidneys by a double fold of the peritoneum, that is called as mesoarchium. So this fold of the peritoneum is called as peritoneal membrane folding is called as mesoarchium. With the help of this, they are attached to the kidney. This is what they are saying here. Okay. Please remember, in the NCERT regarding these fat bodies they have not given. It is useful for accumulation of the fat. Next one, vasa efferentia. Now observe the diagram carefully here. Now these are the testes. Now they are connected through this vasa efferentia. So sperm cells from the testes through the vasa efferentia, they will come into this Bidder's canal. This is called as the Bidder's canal. So in this way they are coming into the Bidder's canal, and from this Bidder's canal ultimately they are going into the ureter. It is also called as urinogenital duct. So this is what they are saying. And from this urinogenital duct or cloaca, from this urinogenital duct or ureter, they are opening into the cloaca. This is what the information they have given, and simply observe the diagrams, try to understand the diagrams. Simply you can remember this entire NCERT content. Clear? Next one, the cloaca is a small. So regarding the cloaca that they are talking here. Okay, so this is the rectum that is opening into the cloaca. This is the portion. So cloaca is a small median chamber that is used to pass. So this is the common passage for opening of what? Fecal matter, urine, and even the sperms to the exterior. Okay, in the case of male. In the case of female, fecal matter, urine, and ova. In the case of a female individual. So this is how this cloaca is the common passage for all these things. And the concept of cloaca is not present in the human. And this cloaca will open outside through an opening called as a cloacal aperture. This is the NCERT diagram. Observe the diagram very carefully. You will understand all these things. Clear? Next one. Female reproductive system. Female reproductive system is having the pair of ovaries are present. So here are the ovaries. Here also one ovary is there. Even though they are closely associated with kidneys, functionally these two are not related, because kidneys have separate opening, and this ovary are releasing the ova, and the ova are passing through this oviduct, and it is having separate opening. So in this way, functionally these two are not related. This is what they are saying. Ovaries are situated near the kidneys, and there is no functional connection with the kidneys. Even though they are present very close to the kidneys. Functionally, they are not related with the kidneys. A pair of oviduct, these are the oviduct. A pair of oviduct arising from the ovaries, they will open into the cloaca separately. Separately, they are having opening because these ureters are having separate opening and these oviducts are having separate opening. This is what the information they are saying here. Next one, a mature female can lay 2500 to 3000 ova at a time. So at a time it can release 2500 to 3000 ova into the water, So sperm cells from the male are also released into the water and these ova are also released into the water. So that fertilization is external. In the water, this fertilization is taking place and it is taking place in the water. Clear? Next one. Development involves a larval stage and the larval stage is called as tadpole larva. This is the tadpole larva. And tadpole larva undergoes metamorphosis so that slowly it is developing into the adult individual. So on an average if we see from the egg stage to adult individual, approximately it will take 2 to 4 years. 2 to 4 years. From the egg stage to the adult individual, it is taking approximately 2 to 4 years. That's why it is taking so much of time. So it is just slowly it is developing. So please observe carefully. These are the entire all these stages, but not needed to remember for examination. Simply I am telling you eggs upon fertilization developing into embryo, and initially it is developing into external gill stage, then internal gill stage, then hind limb stage, and then forelimb stage, and then tailed frog stage, and then young frog, and then adult frog, and once again the cycle will undergo. This is what about this particular stages changes for the frog. Next one, frogs are beneficial for the mankind because they eat the insects and protect the crops. So since they are able to trap these particular insects and they are eliminating them, eliminate means not complete elimination, they are controlling the population of these insects. So in this way they are protecting the particular crops. So that's why generally we are observing these crops nearer to this, but observing the frogs nearer to the crops because insects are getting attracted to the crops, so that now these frogs can easily eat those particular insects. So in this way they are very important. Ecologically also they are having very important significance. That's what they are saying. Frogs maintain ecological balance because these serve as an important link of food chain and food web in the ecosystem. In the ecosystem also they are very important. They are eating some insects and they are becoming food for some other animals like snakes and all. Yes or no? So in this way they are very important ones in the food chains and food webs. Next one, in some countries the muscular legs of the frog are used as food. So these are the muscular legs. So they are so some legs are having some muscle content. So in some countries they are using this as the food also. Okay, that's it. So this is what the information that was given in the NCERT with respect to the frog. This much is enough. And my suggestion is always try to compare this content with the human so that you can understand what are the similarities, what are the differences. Then your concept and your preparation will be completed. Clear? And before concluding this, once again I am telling you the revision lectures are available on Live Prep app and also on YouTube channel, but the test series can be given only through the app. Clear? With this particular one is completed. Thank you.